Hey everybody, I am Christopher McSweeney.
And I'm Tim Shabanowitz.
And welcome back for Lesson 3, Sketching. Probably the least helpful lesson I will be part of because, one, I'm awful at drawing.
Don't say
sketching.
that. That's that. You're giving them excuses out there.
Yeah, no excuses. No excuses.
Everyone can sketch, and I'll show you. I'll tell you about that.
I feel like we need a shirt that says everyone can sketch.
Yeah, let's go make one.
So let's take a look at our quote here. In drawing, nothing is better than the first attempt. And that is by Pablo Picasso, a famous Spanish artist. And what we want you to do is take some time, about 30 seconds to a minute. And how do you feel about this quote? Draw, write, whatever. You can even sketch what you think about this quote. But take 30 seconds to a minute. So, Tim, I'm going to give this one to you because this is definitely not my forte when it comes to design. I mean, you've seen what I do. I just like...
But the thing, here's the thing that you're selling yourself short on is that you're able to communicate. And that's the whole purpose for sketching, at least in this realm. You can sketch for a lot of different reasons in the world, but for this class, we want you to sketch so that you can communicate an idea with somebody else. Because once you start communicating that idea, then you can start collaborating and making better things from there. So we're going to practice a lot of sketching. A picture is worth 1,000 words. You've heard that before, right? Mm-hmm. So sure, you can use words verbally or writing them down, but the picture should clarify a lot of things.
But when we're presenting something to somebody, don't we want to show them like the ultimate, super detailed, perfect, curated everything that, you know?
Well, I mean, yes and no, because we're not at that point yet. Right now, we're not talking to the client. We're not presenting to the client. We're just learning the building blocks of how to do DIY design, right? So right now, it's good to sketch and sketch a lot and continue to sketch and keep a record of all the sketches. I usually do like thumbnail sketches, basically a Post-it note size of little things, and that garners ideas to build upon. And what you want to do is keep building on those sketches. So you're gonna define and then refine those sketches to make it make it better and build more complexity to those designs. Hopefully, building onto themes that you have in there. But we want you to be intentional when you're sketching. Don't just sketch for the sake of sketching. What are you drawing and why? Be decisive, because you're going to make lots of sketches, so you can do one sketch for one thing, one sketch for another thing, one sketch for another thing, and then look at all of them. Be relaxed when you do it. Be nimble, be quick, and be focused. A lot of people, say, I can, walk and chew gum at the same time. For sketching, you really need to be focused and kind of thinking clearly about what you're doing, and collaborate maybe after you get your idea down. But you need to be relaxed and don't be perfect. Not at this stage. Later on, yes, you can be a little more perfect. But right now, just get the ideas out. Done is better than perfect.
It is. Done is better than perfect. And I like some of the stuff that, when we talk about, there's loads of ways to sketch, right? Yeah. Paper, pencil, always there. Yeah. In fact, that's what we kind of designed the book experience to be like. I typically take a picture on my iPad, grab my pencil, and I sketch over the image because I have predefined spaces, right? So
all you're doing there is you're just basically doing a high-tech version of trace paper. So if you have trace paper, regular paper, pictures, all those things, electronic or otherwise, use that to your advantage. Maybe you don't like freehand sketching. Maybe you want to do some technical drawing sketching, which just means using a straight edge to make the stuff because you're not too comfortable. That's fine too, but don't be constrained by those by the straight lines. Make sure you're freely thinking in all those and explore. This is
Absolutely.
exploration.
Yeah, so totally. Exploration in sketching. We are not trying to create the ultimate image. We want to kind of start this process of thinking about what the space could be. And we don't necessarily want to be erasing a whole bunch, right? Because that little mark, like Pablo Picasso said, right? If we go look at our quote, nothing's better than the first attempt. In that first attempt, you might make a mistake that later down the road you go, actually, this could be something if we just. Right, what's Bob Ross? We're just going to turn them into birds later. Or something like that.
It's fine. It's fine. I think the other thing that you're probably wondering is like, we didn't tell you how to sketch. I'd say that you learn how to sketch. Everyone sketches a different way. I'm not going to teach you the right way to sketch or the wrong way to sketch. You just got to get on paper and start it. And you'll find your way, how you sketch while you do that. Sure, there's some things about how to do perspective and all that stuff, and you can do that. We can do that offline, one-on-one if you have issues with that. But if you get 2D drawings down on paper, you can start communicating about how you can make the room that much better.
Right. It's like photography. How to get better at photography? Take pictures.
Yeah.
So, don't grab hold. A couple like good ideas for starting, right? Don't squeeze the pencil or pen or whatever. Be, move the.
I always tell my students to, don't just draw with your fingers. Use your entire elbow. Use gesture drawings. Those are using the entire from your elbow down to your wrist. Freedom of movement. Get in there. Make sure that define your space and then draw and fill up the entire space. Don't be limited. Don't be limiting.
Yeah.
Don't hold the pencil too tight. Make sure if you're using a pencil, use a sharp pencil. I prefer using a real pencil versus a mechanical pencil, just because you can start getting some shading on the edges of the pencil, just to make your drawings pop a little bit more. You can sketch with pens and using colors and everything on the side, but those are additive. Those are things that you can add on later on just to make things better. But long story short, get something on paper with pencil and you'll be fine.
And play with the sketch, right?
Yes.
So the first thing you do, look at it and then maybe go back over it or add another little detail, refine it a little bit. And
revisit those things.
Yeah, define it a little bit more as you go. But, take your time with it.
And maybe you start something and then you come back to it much later and you're like, I see something there because that was your first or second attempt.
Yeah. So in the book, we have DODs, the designs of the day.
Yes.
You want to walk them through what these are meant for and why we're going to do this.
So DODs is just our way of kind of connecting back with, we call them Starchitects or star architects, famous architects of the world.
That's cute.
Yeah, I know. That's I did not pen that. But basically, we want to expose you to different types of modern architecture in the world. And when we say modern, we're talking really from like 1900 on forward. Sure, there's important architecture before that. But we want to really kind of stay in contemporary architecture right now. So we have a handful of these. There's going to be on the left-hand side, a brief description of the building, and then on the QR code that is in your book, you'll be able to access a series of these drawings, these pictures, and we want you to sketch these drawings on the next page, and then also. So sketch what you see there and then answer those reflection questions that you see up at the top there on the right as you're drawing the picture, and see if that kind of starts to percolate any ideas that you might want.
Yeah, so as you're attempting your first DOD, which is going to be the Milwaukee Art Museum, have your book open. Don't just wrap it around.
Yeah.
You want to see both of this, right? You want to see your reflection questions, the information about this, and then have the sketch space below that.
Yep.
So that way you can interact with all of it kind of all at once and give yourself extra room. Find a big, huge table, right? I always see the students in my room when I walk in.
They're all whatever. You got to spread out. Make sure you have your room. Make sure that coil is in the center this way, and then it won't get in your way when you sketch, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. So have some fun with sketching. We actually, fun fact, purposefully picked out the paper if you like that alliteration. We were very thoughtful in the paper because we want you to feel the tooth
of the paper.
Yeah.
There's a little. It's not super smooth. It's not super rough. It's just right. A little Goldilocks.
We want it to kind of grab the pencil or the pen, whatever you're using, so you get that tactile experience back. So again, everything we're pouring into this, we're picking the fonts, we're picking the themes, the design of this book, because we want you to experience this as you go through it. But go ahead, get after your first DoD, and we hope this video helps.
Yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
Good luck.